What about just day-to-day rituals? Do you have anything in your life that you do?
I have been getting into sourdough bread.
What?
Yeah.
Like with the bread maker?
No, with my hands and an oven.
Oh, yeah. I forget you can make it with an oven. My mom has like a bread maker where you dump it in and then
that's very
percolates or something.
No, I actually have been doing it so much I forgot you could buy bread at the store this week, and I was really proud of myself.
So you just like every day make a loaf of bread?
No, not every day. But the thing with sourdough is you make your own starter. So you take flour and water, and so instead of using a yeast packet to make bread,
okay, you
make a sourdough starter, which you put together water and flour. It should be good flour, and I'll leave you alone about the water because who cares? Okay. But and you leave it out, and it's going to attract natural yeasts from the air.
Wow!
And it's going to start fermenting.
Okay.
This is like a 3-week process of feeding your starter. I mean, it's like a long, patient process.
Wow.
And once you have your starter, then you can use it regularly. Like once you're through that process, you don't have to do that again.
By starter, you just mean like dough, right?
Well, starter is the it's what's going to give you yeast when you make your bread. So again, instead of putting in a yeast packet when you want to bake, you're going to put in a small amount of starter.
Gotcha.
Mix up your stuff, and sourdough is going to take a lot longer to ferment.
So how many sourdough loaves are you making at a time?
I make one at a time every
3 weeks.
Week or couple of weeks, depending on what's going on. Because again, it's like a 1 to 2 day process.
That's
so
a
you
fun
have
little
to
hobby.
have it is. It's like it's a good thing to occupy your time, and just cooking and baking in general. It's a good physical, productive, creative thing to do.
Yeah. You mentioned did you mention this on the podcast? Dry January?
Yeah. Oh no, we were talking about it before.
You just did dry January. Whenever I take a month off from drinking, I always bake. I'm a fiend.
Interesting.
Isn't
Do you
that
stop baking when you start drinking again?
Yeah. I need something to occupy. No, then the calories would just.
Well, yeah, there is that. I
think I baked to fill in those beer calories.
Well, it's good. The poor thing you'll just waste away.
That's fun. You should do like a Shark Tank business with sourdough bread making.
This is an interesting thing about Los Angeles.
What?
That anytime you say you're like doing something creative,
That's
people
artisanal.
are like, you know what you should do is make money at it.
People like experiential and artisanal.
It's really
those two words are huge.
I think it's important personally. This doesn't count as a ritual, but for me, it's very important to always have some creative thing I'm doing that has nothing to do with money.
Oh, that's smart.
Because I just think it takes a toll on you when if you're a creative person and all of your creative efforts are tied to you trying to make money somehow.
That's a fair point.
I just feel like for me, it's really important. I have some like jewelry making stuff that I don't touch very often, but I just like to know it's there. I bought a bunch of clay once. Like, I just need to have something that I am into that I'm not.
A closet full of clay.
Yeah. My husband at this point is like, "What are we still using this clay?" And I'm like, "Don't touch it."
That's funny. It is. I do find it funny. Like when I do have free time, I'm like, what should I do today?
Yeah.
And it is cool to find like a cool hobby like that. Mm-hmm. Bread making or what. I've been doing puzzles lately.
Ooh. Yeah. Making pretzels?
Puzzles. Like jigsaw puzzles. Not
That's
even
way
close.
less interesting to me.
If I could make a pretzel, I would be.
You can make a pretzel.
Aunt Ann? Well, who makes pretzels? Annie?
I mean, who's Annie Snyder, Mr. Snyder?
Wait, who's the one in the mall though?
Oh.
Auntie Ann.
Wetzel. Mr. Wetzel.
That was way off.
Annie. No, I think there's some Annie who makes pretzels. Annie? Sure.